My view of politics is that the measure of any society is how the society looks after those who are less capable of looking after themselves. We as a society have to look after those who just are not in that position to look after themselves. And if I'm able to do that in a small way, well, I think I'm doing a good job.
Every day is different, every day is rewarding. You can actually affect people's lives for the better. You can make improvements to the country that we live in.
You have to keep the channels of communication open and you have to keep engaging with people. You give the message, you let people know clearly where you stand. They might not always like what you're saying, but I think people respect honesty. I think the perception is that once you get elected, you can change everything. And that is not the reality. You have to work within a structure. Certainly you can do your best and you can make representations, but you have to take the bigger picture into consideration. And it's sometimes very, very hard for the public to understand that, you know, when there are huge challenges and big local issues.
There's always a feet-finding process when you go into any new forum, and Leinster House is a forum, and it took longer than people would anticipate to get the structures that you're satisfied with. But there's a lot of very good people up there. Most people are there for the right reasons and they try and do their very, very best for their electorate.
I think being in politics gives me the chance to introduce legislation, to talk about legislation and to proactively change things for the better. So I really excited and enthused all the time about being at the heart of the political system in the country, because you really can affect change from there.
Balancing home and work is a huge challenge and something that I try to do as best I can. I may not always get it right, but you try and do it as best you can. When your children are young, you only get them for a short space of time before they're adults, and you try to do the best for them. And in doing the best for them, I also have to do the best for the people who elected me and the people that I represent and that I've been chosen to serve, and it's getting that balance right.
I'm lucky to have a very supportive network of friends and family, the vast majority of whom have been with me since way before I entered politics. The nature of the game is that you annoy people. Some people disagree with you, some people hate you just for what you stand for. And I suppose I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't have some people that hated me, so I can accept that. But at the same time, it's nice to know that you've got a network of friends out there who love you regardless.
My wife hates it. Being quite frank about it, it is hard on the spouse or the partner, whoever it is. They do take up the slack in terms of family. You can't be available as much as you would like, but that's the job. But unless you have the full support of your family, you won't do it. And it is important that you have that support, because if you don't have that balance, you lose focus.
Enjoy it. Take the challenges and run with them. And don't be put off by them. I mean, sometimes they seem huge, insurmountable, difficult, but yet you have, the chance to run with them and to try as best you can to affect change.
The highlights are the people that you meet. The highlights are being able to help people, being able to change people's lives for the better. There's no better feeling than having a success in relation to help change and improve people's lives. And that happens on a very regular basis. And it's not because we're magicians, it's because we know the system, we know our way around the system. So there's a huge amount of satisfaction from that. That drives you forward, that makes you get up in the morning.
There's always bad days and there are always difficult days. The hard thing to do is to keep it going. My advice to anybody who wishes to get involved in politics is just to keep going. But it is a profession of hard knocks, and if people are interested, if people believe in politics, well, they'll keep going. But it isn't about being the elected person. It is about serving the people.